In this video, we're going to do some examples why the dollar is feeling, folks. Maybe this will help some people out there in your family, your friends, so we can educate them. Maybe this is a video to share with them. We also get into how did I help somebody get from gold, stacking golds, down and stack silver today at the shop. I'm going to let you guys know about that as well. So please like, share, and subscribe. We're getting on the way to 5,700 subscribers. Let's see if we can get that by the end of the month, folks. I really appreciate that. We're about 86 subscribers away from that. We still got about a week left, a little bit more than a week left in the month. I think we can cover that very quickly. Thank you all very much. Let's just get into the video right now. You see on your screen, you see a dollar bill. You see 10 silver dimes, which equals a dollar's face. Dollar's face in silver quarters. You see 2 half dollars, 90%, 1 Franklin, 1 Walking Liberty, and you see 2 40%ers. You see a peace dollar, Morgan, and you see a silver eagle. They all have the same dollar face value, right? You can spend them in circulation right now. People are not going to, people want to do that. They're going to get their dollar face. That's what they're going to get. Okay? Let's go on to $1. Again, the same price, right? All across the board. So why is a dollar face 90% silver melting for $23.90? You don't think your dollar's getting eaten away yet, folks? It's not because silver's gone up. It's your dollar's getting inflated away. And this is what we try to tell people at the shop too. This is very educational video for this first part of it. And maybe this will help people learn. Like I said, in your family, your friends, so on. Morgan a piece dollars. They have a melt value of $25.60. Still same dollar face, but they have a melt value of $25.60. Your 40% silver halves. 2 of them have a melt value of $9.80. And your ASE has a melt value of $33.10. Yeah, it says $1 right on it. That's the government backing on it, folks. That's what the government would give you back if you traded into a convenience store, Walmart, wherever. They have to take it as a dollar face. If anybody's crazy enough to do that, well, I feel sorry for you, but I wouldn't do that myself. I don't think most people would do that. But there's been times where I've heard stories, I've seen it myself, where people actually go into these convenience stores and get their cigarettes, their beer, whatever the case may be, and getting it for face value. And it's sad. So there's your story on why the dollar is failing, folks. I mean, the dollar is losing value every single day. We just can go back to the 40s, the 50s, even to the 60s, folks. We were using these through the whole time frame, and silver has kept up with inflation. Gold has kept up with inflation for the most part. Gold's done tremendously well. So has silver in percentages. If you look at the percentages of last Market Watch video, silver is still outperforming gold in percentage. Not by much right now, but it's still outperforming gold. So take that as you wish. Me, I'd rather have silver than dollars any day. That's just me personally. Gold's the same thing, folks. If people start really seeing what's going on out there, and we got to remember, silver and gold are not for a quick get-rich scheme out there. It's probably not going to happen, to be truthful with you. Are you ever going to get rich from it? What, in dollar terms? I mean, yeah, sure, silver could shoot up to $80 by the end of the year. All right? Not saying that's going to happen. But even if it did happen, we got to get our heads out of this stuff. We really, really do. We have to start thinking about the bottom situation. And how we going to get there is ask your local butcher shops. Ask your local farmers markets. Ask your local restaurants if they're willing to accept. Start them out with 90% silver. For the ones who have Goldbacks in their states, or the ones that are coming on board, like Oklahoma, like Arizona's coming on board. If you have Goldbacks, folks, ask them if they're going to take them. You know, show them the value of the Goldbacks, too. Some people like them, some people don't. I get it, you know. But what people need to understand about the Goldbacks is it holds its value there, too. Yes, you pay a higher premium on them. It's fractional, just like you would do a 10th-ounce gold coin. You're paying a higher premium on them. This is more fractional. You get the premiums back. The premiums don't go away when you're doing the Goldbacks. They just don't go away. The thing with Goldbacks is if gold goes up, your value of your Goldbacks goes up. If gold goes down, your value of your Goldbacks goes down. It works the same way, but the premium actually holds its value. It has to be that way for it to actually to work like that. They have to make them. They have to make their money to. They have to make their money to produce them, and what that fee is, it's just passing the fee along to the next person. That's all it's doing. It's going from your hands to the next, and if it goes up when you're trading them, you're going to get more goods and services out of it. If gold goes down, you're going to use them. You're going to get less goods and service. It's just like with silver and gold. It's the same, basically, concept, just in a different form that looks like this stuff. Kind of looks like it. Not 100%, but you see what I'm saying. So with that being said, that's how we're going to get the game going with people taking silver gold as payments. Do I think Walmart, Target's going to start taking gold payment anytime soon? No. Do I think your local grocery stores? Well, maybe your mom and pop stores are already taking it. People just need to ask. I want to give a quick shout out to channel sponsor Pinbacks. Thank you, Michael and Brian, for sponsoring Coin Shop Chris. Guys, you guys heard me numerously talk about them all the time. They're going to give you the best customer service out there. They're going to pack very well. Do they always have the best prices? No. But oftentimes, they do have the best prices. Keep them in the mix, folks. Keep your eyes. I mean, if price is really your biggest concern, fine, go elsewhere then. But if you want the best customer service, if you want to be able to talk to the owners themselves, pick up the phone. Michael or Brian will be happy to help you out with your questions about silver, gold, or platinum. They even do IRA transfers. If you have an IRA and you're worried about the stock market, they can help you transfer that out. You're going to get the same prices you see on their website. They're not going to try to upsell you with these fractional coins like these other companies. Buyer be warned. Be warned about those other companies, folks, that will take advantage of you. What you see on your screen at Pinbacks is the price you're going to get when you do an IRA transfer. I do not know a lot about IRA transfers. That's not my expertise at all. When you have to call them, ask them. Yes, I also recommend calling another company or two. Get the best price possible. Get the best deal possible. Absolutely. You want to do your due diligence when you're doing anything. Buying precious metals, IRA transfers, anything like that. But I can assure you, Pinbacks will be very honest with you folks. Check them out. Let them know that Coin Shop Chris sent you. Thank you again, Pinbacks, for sponsoring the channel. Thank you to you, the viewer, because it's not possible without you. I want to move on to how did I get somebody start getting silver over gold. Look, we have this guy comes in. He owns a mechanic shop in the area. And he watches my videos, so I'm not going to say his name. He asked me not to say his name. Okay? And he said, so I can share his story. This guy's probably got about 28 ounces of gold. He's been coming in on a regular basis and buying an ounce of gold. He strictly wants to be the coin on the round guy, which is fine. He's not always getting the best deal with the American Silver Eagles. I think the gold maples are a better buy right now. And you're actually getting 24 karat gold versus 22 karat gold. And they're cheaper, folks. At most places, they are cheaper. So I'm trying to, talk about that. You don't always have to get your own country's coins. Maples are still very liquid. Gold bars are very liquid. Silver, all types of silver are very liquid out there right now. Yes, there are more things are better liquid out there than other items. Now, if you get some kind of rare coin out there that they limit supply, no, coin shops are not going to pay up for those. If you want to pay that higher premium on them, you got to take I just warn you, you're not going to get that much. You probably be a while before you get that. If we still have the money, it's going to be it's going to be a while for you to get that premium back. Now, maybe eBay will do a better job for you on those higher end coins or rounds. Yeah, but they're going to take a fee as well. Keep that in mind. Yeah, you could go sell it at the flea market, just whatever, but you're going to have a smaller market there when you're doing that as well. Just keep in mind, it's okay to do a little bit of collector items if you like it. I wouldn't go, me personally, I don't go all in. You guys know I do have a couple 10-ounce Kookaburra coins. Yeah, they're a little bit higher premium than anything else out there. But I like them. So it's okay to do a little bit of dabbling once you start getting your stack building up. It's okay to start doing a little bit of dabbling outside your normal realm, I would say. But I wouldn't go all in, all at once. Again, cost average. That's how I've done it, folks. So, moving on to how we start talking, about silver with this guy. Like I said, he owns about 28 ounces of gold. And so I asked him today. He was coming to buy another ounce of gold today. I asked him, I said, you ever buy silver? He says, heck no. I says, why not? He says, the central bank's not buying gold. I says, oh, okay. I said, let me ask you this. I said, do you think the dollar's going to fail? He says, well, yeah. I says, okay. Then I asked him, I says, let me ask you this. I said, have you ever gone to a convenience store or, the movies with a $100 bill and they tell you they don't have to change? He says, well, that happens from time to time. Yeah, especially at Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. I said, okay. So how are you going to trade that? I said, let's say we get into a scenario where people are taking silver, gold as payment. How are you going to break that gold coin? He says, well, I'll come here and trade it for silver. I said, what happens if we don't have this silver? Or it's a hit or miss? He says, I'm just throwing that out there. And he stopped and he thought about what I said. And he says, Chris, you know what? I never thought about it that way. He says, you're right. Maybe I should be getting some silver. And he was being legit about it. And I said, so we started talking about silver, of course. He said, well, what should I start getting silver in? I said, what are your, I said, I know you're a mechanic. You got to pay some guys every single week. And I said, but what is your, I'm not talking about your business account. I said, what is your, spending out there, on food? I says, your house is paid off, right? Do you see my house is paid off, my car's paid off? He says, we don't spend a lot. So there goes me going into the 90% silver threshold again. I said 90% silver, maybe some silver maple leafs, maybe some American silver eagle, since you like the coin of the realm type of deal. But I says, smaller fraction. I says 90% silver is for smaller purchases for trade. I said it's acted like it's like a $1 bill. Especially your quarters, your dimes, your halves. Smaller denominations in silver as well. So he did. He says, the heck with the gold. He says, I'm going to start getting more silver now. He says, what do you recommend for me today? I says, well, right now we do have the $half in stock. We got the quarters in stock. I says, dimes we gain in a little bit at a time from another person because he's trying to buy a house. So dimes are a hit or miss right now with us. So he says, give me $100 worth of $100 face of $half, and we call it a day for today. I said, well, you're still not going to spend that whole $3,000. That over that $3,000 that you want to spend 2 days. That's all right. I'll come in back next week, or maybe just later this week. I'll talk to the wife because she said something about silver last week, and we should get some silver. And you made a good point. How are we going to break gold into silver when there's no silver out there? I said, I'm not saying that's not, and I said to her, I said, be aware that's not exactly what I am saying. I said, it's possible. I said, some people out there think there's plenty of silver out there. Well, if you go look online, you go to your coin shops, you might see the case full, folks. People have to remember what happened in March of 2023. There was no silver to be found. It was so hard. The cracks are there now. It's not a try to make you fear of missing out. The cracks are starting to show up in the silver market already. We're having a hard time sourcing some stuff. Online dealers are having some hard time sourcing stuff. Yes, there may be some coin shops here and there that don't have a problem sourcing stuff right now. It depends on where your location is and what that bullion dealer, if they use a bullion dealer, if they have more people bringing stuff in. At some point, the stronger hands are coming into play, meaning us who are stacking it now, are holding it and holding it, are not going to give it up anytime soon, folks. I just want people to realize that. You know, when we get more and more people to come on and get stronger and stronger hands, this stuff is not coming back to the market anytime soon. It's just not going to be there. And at what point is that going to be? Yes, they can make more Silver Eagles. They can make more Sunshine Mint rounds. They're not making any more 1964 prior junk silver. And yes, I do agree with the statement. Some of it will be out there still. It will always be out there for sale. That's probably a true statement overall. How much is going to be out there is going to be a key. At what price is going to be another key. Keep that in mind as we move forward. The prices on 90% silver are still very, very low. We've seen it jump way up in March of 2023. So, when that happens again, I don't believe this time is coming back into the market. You know, maybe some people will be selling off at the higher price. And I'll just warn, what are you going to do with that? That's all I got for right now, folks. I hope you folks have a good rest of your day. I'll be back later this afternoon with another video. If you have not yet liked, share, or subscribed to this video, good time to do that now. Check out my good friend Sobriety and Silver YouTube channel. He's over 900 subscribers now. Once he gets to 1,000 subscribers, he's going to give away 2 ounces of silver. One of them he's giving away himself. One of them I donated to him. Check him out. Let him know that Coin Shop Chris sent you. Thank you very much, folks. We will catch you later this afternoon.